good day, and welcome to the Constitution Line by Line. I'm Paul Fabrizio.
And I'm Don Frazier. Why do you look so bemused?
Oh, we're doing it again. This is apparently our 60th episode.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 167.
Yeah, so
only 100 more to go.
That's
right.
Thereabout. That's right. So it's quite a constitution we're going through.
Quite a constitution. Imagine if you're doing this for class credit or something. You're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm a little more than a third of the way through this. Will it never end?
Please end it.
But at the end of this process, man, think about how smart everybody's going to be.
That's right. Exactly. They'll know the Constitution.
They will know. They'll at least had our take on it, and
That's
they will
right.
have at least read it.
That's right. Or have it read to them.
Or had it, yeah. Well, we're also, scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So.
Okay.
But if they're listening to it on SoundCloud or Apple iTunes, yeah, they're having it read to them.
Yeah.
But now we're through the Congress.
That's right. We're done with it.
All right, so
except for a couple of amendments that will come later.
Yeah. Well, amendments are a whole separate animal. But Article 1's done.
Yay!
Now we're launching into Article 2.
The executive. The president.
Yay!
El Presidente.
El Presidente, and that's
I
what
can't
everybody likes to focus on because there's only one of him and there's hundreds of those other people.
Yeah, exactly. So are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Before we do it, just a reminder, we're using a detailed analysis of the Constitution by Edward F. Cook, and this is the 7th edition. This is the basis for the division of the Constitution line by line.
Oh, cool.
Okay? So that's what we're using. Are you ready?
I am.
The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold this office during the term of 4 years, and, together with the Vice President, chosen for the same term, be elected as follows.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll get to the elected part in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the next tape. But what do you want to say about this? We have a president.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Yep.
So we have to have a president, and he has to have a vice president, and they're elected for a term of 4 years.
Yeah. Where'd the term president come from?
I don't know. Do you know? Seems like you'd be writing your ballywick, Mr. Poli-Sci.
I've heard a couple of different things. One is that in Holland there was an office held by someone, and it was the president. And so as the framers were casting about for the right title for the president, the chief executive, that came up as a possibility. So it wasn't an unknown term. It was actually something that existed. Also,
was current in political circles.
And also, you got to remember what we have is a legislative assembly there in the Constitutional Convention, and you have a presiding officer. And what's one way to refer to a presiding officer but as the president?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes some logical sense. But as we know and we've talked about before, there were some issues. What do you call this chief executive?
Yeah.
And
informally and formally, what's his position?
Right.
And then what is his title?
Right. And, of course, I would argue, and we talked about the Mr. before, but I would argue that in defining the title, they then lay out what the job is going to be. I mean, if your title is Your Majesty,
yeah,
that I would argue elevates your job description.
That's true. So if informally they're calling you Your Highness or Your Majesty, or
you're going to have certain powers, certain privileges that come.
There's a majesty attached to you.
That's right. And if your title is Mr. Everyman.
Mr. Guy.
Yeah, Mr. Guy. Then, what's so special about that?
Yeah, as president, presidents will come and go.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And, of course, the American humor industry loves it that these guys are so approachable because they roast the president, chief executive, on a regular basis.
Yes.
And nobody lines them up and shoots them.
Yeah. exactly. It's
which is
pretty amazing.
Yeah, which is, not something that happens other places.
Yeah.
Other places, if you make fun of the chief executive, your days on earth are numbered.
That's right. But here, no, go right ahead.
He's one of us. He's
Yeah.
just got a special job.
That's right. And when he's done, when his term is up, he's going to go back and, for the most part, be one of us again. There's exceptions. I mean, you'll have security. You'll have a pension from the government.
You're famous.
You'll have a library. You can command hundreds of thousands of dollars in a speech.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But the reality is they're just like us. They are going to ride in a plane just like us,
They don't have their plane unless they pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what we have created with this Constitution. There was an attempt to elevate the office, but at the same time, make the office simply one of us.
I'm reminded of that line from Kipling's poem, If.
Ooh.
If you can walk with crowds and not lose your virtue, or walk with kings and not lose the common touch.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, see?
And how do you find that? And have we achieved
Have we ever achieved that?
Yeah.
Interesting. That would be, we'd been hounded by one of our hands to rank all the presidents.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and over again. And that's such a futile exercise.
Thank you.
But judging which ones had the common touch and which ones didn't, that would be an interesting.
Right.
I mean, Harry Truman comes to mind.
Yeah, as someone who has the common touch, but you notice he wasn't elected to that position originally.
Correct.
So
It'd have been tough for him to get there.
yeah, did Ronald Reagan have that common touch?
Yeah, at least he came off as such.
Yeah, but he was an actor.
Yeah,
And
Jimmy
so-
Carter.
Yes, so Jimmy Carter really played up that common touch.
Absolutely. I have lusted in my heart. I remember that from my youth.
I won't say anything. I remember too.
Isn't that amazing?
I wasn't as young as you, though.
Yeah.
I was actually working for the Republican Party in California when
At that time.
At that time.
I remember
So
there used
that
to be
Playboy magazine was passed around in the office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, quit looking at the centerfold. Go to the article. We only get this magazine for the articles.
That's right.
So, tell me about the old days. There used to be Republicans in California?
Yes, there used to be.
Wow. I mean,
Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon.
yeah. So now you
all
have to
products of it.
dig down to that archaeological layer to find their fossils.
Well, at the same time, there used to be Democrats here in Texas.
Used to be. They still are.
Yeah, they're still Republicans.
They're called conservative Republicans because even when they were Democrats.
Yeah.
All right, so we've kind of gone far afield from this particular line.
We need to get back to where we're supposed to be.
So
Constitution.
that's our line. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So-
Executive power shall be vested. So then the job of the president is to be the executive.
There's a pinnacle position,
That's right.
and this is Article 2, Section 1, Clause 1.
Got it.
All right, that's our line, and we'll be back with the next line in the next episode.